As we age, maintaining a healthy level of detachment or coldness is essential for protecting our peace, emotional well-being, and energy. Society often encourages us to be warm and accommodating, but constantly giving without boundaries can drain our strength and cause burnout. This mindset doesn't mean being unkind or distant. Instead, it's about setting limits that help us live a more balanced and fulfilling life. By learning when to step back, we can focus on what truly matters: meaningful relationships, personal health, and inner peace. In today's episode, discover practical steps to embrace this coldness with grace and confidence. Aging gracefully is about more than just staying active or maintaining physical health. It's about cultivating emotional resilience and protecting your mental peace. Society often expects seniors to be endlessly accommodating and available, but constantly saying yes can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and even resentment. Instead, learning to set healthy boundaries is a powerful act of self-care that allows you to thrive in your golden years. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or being unkind. It means choosing where to focus your energy. In this video, we'll explore practical strategies for navigating this stage of life with clarity and strength. You'll learn how to set boundaries that protect your peace, deal with negativity, and foster meaningful relationships with family and friends. We'll also discuss why it's important to limit oversharing and protect your privacy, especially when it comes to sensitive topics like finances or personal struggles. By embracing these strategies, you'll create a more balanced, peaceful life, one where your happiness takes center stage without guilt or apology. This isn't about being cold in a negative sense, but about safeguarding your well-being so you can continue being warm and generous in ways that truly matter. As you step into retirement, a time often viewed as a period of relaxation and freedom, new challenges emerge. Many seniors face the unspoken pressure of always being available, whether it's for family, friends, or community commitments. Society assumes that retirement means unlimited time and energy to give, but this perception can lead to emotional burnout and physical strain. You might find yourself saying yes to tasks or social events you'd rather avoid, simply because you feel obligated. Over time, this habit can drain your emotional reserves, leaving little energy for the things that truly matter. For instance, some seniors feel pressured to participate in every social gathering or take on physically demanding tasks that could risk their health. Others may find themselves offering unsolicited advice to family, only to create tension. These expectations, whether imposed by others or yourself, often lead to resentment, exhaustion, or feelings of neglect. Without clear boundaries, you risk sacrificing your peace and well-being for the sake of pleasing everyone else. By recognizing and addressing these challenges, you can reclaim control over your time and energy. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's a necessity for living a balanced, fulfilling life that prioritizes your happiness and health. Emergencies, by their very nature, test our ability to think clearly and act decisively. For seniors, staying calm during such moments is even more critical, as rushing can lead to mistakes or physical harm. In our younger years, we often respond to emergencies with quick reactions, relying on physical resilience to recover from any missteps. However, as we age, the stakes are higher, and the need for thoughtful decision-making becomes paramount. Take the example of rushing to help someone who has fallen. Without proper caution, you might injure yourself in the process, turning one emergency into two. Alternatively, in situations like responding to a medical scare, hurried actions, such as fumbling to call for help or forgetting to secure your own safety, can complicate the scenario further. Cultivating calmness begins with acknowledging the importance of pausing before acting. A brief moment to assess the situation and gather your thoughts can make all the difference. This mindset doesn't come naturally to everyone, especially if you've spent a lifetime being reactive. but it's a skill worth developing. Mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing exercises or counting to 10, can be incredibly effective in helping you regain composure during stressful moments. These practices train your mind to stay centered, allowing you to respond rather than react. For instance, if you're driving and encounter a sudden hazard, remaining calm can help you navigate the situation safely rather than panicking and causing further danger. Beyond personal safety, maintaining calmness in emergencies also sets a positive example for those around you. Family members, especially grandchildren, often look to older adults for reassurance. By staying composed, you not only manage the situation better, but also instill confidence in those who may feel overwhelmed or scared. It's important to remember that calmness doesn't mean indifference. On the contrary, it's a deliberate choice to approach emergencies with clarity and focus. This mindset allows you to prioritize what needs to be done without letting fear or adrenaline cloud your judgment. Over time, practicing this form of gentle coldness becomes second nature, equipping you to handle crises effectively and protect your well-being. As you reflect on your approach to emergencies, consider how you can incorporate these practices into your daily life. Start small by observing your reactions to minor stressors, like a misplaced item or a last-minute change in plans. These moments are opportunities to practice pausing, breathing, and responding thoughtfully. In a world that often values speed over thoughtfulness, choosing calmness is a powerful act of self-care. It's a skill that not only safeguards your health, but also strengthens your ability to support others during critical moments. Remember, the goal isn't to suppress your emotions, but to channel them in a way that empowers you to act with wisdom and grace. The importance of staying calm during emergencies is best illustrated through real-life examples. Consider the story of Mr. Johnson, a 75-year-old retiree who found himself locked out of his home while babysitting his 2-year-old grandson. In his panic, he tried forcing the spare key into the lock, only to break it. The child, crying inside, added to Mr. Johnson's stress, causing him to make hasty decisions like attempting to climb through a window and injuring his shoulder in the process. Had he paused to take a deep breath and think through his options, he might have called a neighbor for help, or calmly contacted a locksmith, resolving the issue safely and efficiently. Another compelling example involves a senior couple who faced a medical emergency. When the wife experienced sudden dizziness and fainted, the husband panicked, rushing to lift her off the floor without checking for injuries or calling for medical assistance. In his haste, he strained his back, making the situation even more challenging for both of them. Reflecting on this experience later, the couple realized that taking a moment to assess the situation, ensure safety, and call emergency services would have been a far better approach. These examples highlight a common theme. Acting out of panic often leads to unintended consequences. Whether it's a physical injury, like Mr. Johnson's shoulder strain, or an escalation of the emergency, such outcomes can often be avoided by practicing calmness. In less critical but equally telling scenarios, even minor stressors demonstrate the value of staying composed. Imagine a senior rushing to catch a bus and tripping on the curb, resulting in a fractured wrist. While the urgency of the situation may seem justified, the consequences of rushing are rarely worth the risk. Taking a slower, deliberate approach not only safeguards physical health, but also allows for better decision-making in the moment. Calmness also plays a crucial role in fostering confidence among others. In emergencies involving children or other family members, your ability to stay composed sets the tone for how others respond. For instance, during a power outage, a senior who calmly lights candles and reassures the family helps create an atmosphere of stability, reducing anxiety for everyone involved. These examples underscore the profound impact of calmness in emergencies. They remind us that taking a moment to pause, breathe, and assess the situation is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful act of self-care and leadership. The value of cultivating calmness during emergencies cannot be overstated. For seniors, this skill serves as a safeguard not only for physical well-being, but also for emotional stability. When you remain calm, you reduce the likelihood of making mistakes that can escalate the situation. A composed approach allows you to think, prioritize your actions, and ensure that both you and those around you are safe. Beyond its practical benefits, calmness offers a sense of control. In moments of chaos, taking a step back to breathe and gather your thoughts empowers you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This mindset reduces stress and helps you maintain confidence in your ability to handle challenging situations. Calmness also has a ripple effect. When you stay composed, those around you, whether family members, friends, or bystanders, often mirror your behavior. This is particularly impactful in emergencies involving children who look to adults for guidance. Your steady demeanor can provide reassurance and prevent panic from spreading. In the long term, developing the habit of staying calm fosters resilience. It equips you to navigate not just emergencies, but also everyday challenges with grace, turning moments of stress into opportunities for growth and learning. When emergencies arise, make it a habit to pause and think before reacting. A single deep breath or a few seconds to gather your thoughts can help you avoid rash decisions that may worsen the situation. Practice mindfulness exercises, such as deep breathing or mentally counting to 10, during your daily routine to build a habit of staying calm. By cultivating this skill, you not only safeguard your own well-being, but also inspire calmness in those around you. Start practicing today to approach challenges with confidence, clarity, and peace. Avoiding toxic or negative individuals is a vital step toward maintaining your emotional balance and overall well-being, especially as you age. Toxic people, whether they are old acquaintances, distant relatives, or even members of your current social circle, often drain your energy with their constant complaints, manipulative behavior, or overly critical attitudes. Their negativity can cloud your perspective and leave you feeling emotionally exhausted, even if you engage with them for a short period. Recognizing toxic people in your life is often the first and most challenging step. These individuals may not appear harmful initially. They may present themselves as caring or helpful, masking their behavior under the guise of concern. For instance, a neighbor who constantly checks in on you might spend most of their visit gossiping about others or dwelling on their problems, leaving you emotionally drained. Similarly, an old friend who brings up past grievances or frequently criticizes your lifestyle choices can leave you questioning your self-worth or feeling frustrated after every interaction. The key to protecting your emotional health is learning to evaluate your relationships honestly. Ask yourself, does this person bring positivity into my life? Do I feel uplifted after spending time with them, or do I feel weighed down? The answers to these questions can help you determine whether a relationship is worth maintaining or if it's time to set boundaries. Creating distance from toxic individuals doesn't mean being unkind or confrontational. Instead, it involves setting limits on your interactions. For example, you might choose to limit conversations to neutral topics or avoid one-on-one interactions altogether. In group settings, you can subtly steer clear of those who tend to dominate conversations with negativity. By maintaining a polite yet firm approach, you send a clear message that you value your emotional peace and are not willing to engage in harmful dynamics. Filling the void left by toxic relationships is equally important. Seek out positive, uplifting connections by joining groups or clubs that align with your interests. Whether it's a book club, gardening group, or volunteer organization, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals can provide a sense of community and purpose. Reconnecting with old friends who share your values, or forming new friendships with people who inspire you can also help you create a healthier social environment. Ultimately, avoiding toxic people is about reclaiming your time, energy, and emotional well-being. It's a decision to prioritize positivity and protect yourself from unnecessary stress. By focusing on relationships that bring joy and meaning into your life, you create space for personal growth, inner peace, and lasting happiness. Remember, taking care of your emotional health is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. The impact of toxic individuals can be better understood through real-life examples. Imagine a senior named Margaret who reconnected with an old friend after retirement. While Margaret initially felt happy to rekindle the friendship, she soon realized that every meeting turned into an hour-long session of complaints and gossip. Her friend constantly criticized others, complained about life, and rarely asked about Margaret's well-being. After each meeting, Margaret felt emotionally drained and dreaded the mere thought of attending the next one. Another common scenario involves family dynamics. John, a 68-year-old widower, often visited his brother's family for dinner. However, his brother's constant negativity about politics and relentless arguments with his spouse made every visit a source of stress. Despite John's attempts to change the subject or lighten the mood, the atmosphere remained tense, leaving him anxious long after he returned home. Eventually, John limited his visits and focused on spending time with friends who brought him joy. Toxic behavior isn't always overtly negative. For instance, some toxic individuals mask their negativity behind false concerns or unsolicited advice. Claire, a 70-year-old retiree, encountered this with a neighbor who frequently dropped by uninvited. While the neighbor claimed to check on her, the visits often turned into lengthy monologues about her own life struggles or passive-aggressive comments about Claire's choices. These interactions left Claire feeling both frustrated and guilty. These examples highlight how toxic relationships can subtly infiltrate daily life, draining energy and disrupting peace. It's important to recognize that the toll isn't just emotional, it can also affect physical health. Margaret reported difficulty sleeping after particularly negative encounters, while John noticed an increase in headaches during periods of frequent visits with his brother. Recognizing toxic patterns is the first step toward reclaiming your peace. Take Margaret's approach. After acknowledging the negative impact of her friendship, she began limiting her meetings with her friend and instead invested her time in activities she enjoyed, such as joining a local book club. Similarly, Claire politely but firmly told her neighbor that she needed quiet time to focus on her hobbies, which significantly reduced the frequency of uninvited visits. These real-life examples serve as a reminder that avoiding toxic individuals isn't about being unkind. It's about prioritizing your well-being. By setting boundaries and focusing on positive relationships, you can create a healthier and more fulfilling environment for yourself. The value of distancing yourself from toxic individuals cannot be overstated, especially as you prioritize emotional well-being in later life. By stepping away from negativity, you free up mental and emotional energy that can be redirected toward relationships and activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. This shift is transformative, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. When you limit interactions with toxic people, you create space for positive experiences. Imagine the relief of not dreading a phone call from a critical friend or the lightness that comes with avoiding stressful family dynamics. These changes don't just improve your mood, they also enhance your physical health by reducing the stress that can lead to headaches, high blood pressure, or other ailments. Moreover, setting boundaries with toxic individuals reinforces your self-worth. It's a statement that your peace and happiness are priorities. Over time, this practice builds confidence and resilience, empowering you to make decisions that align with your values. Ultimately, distancing yourself from negativity fosters an environment of peace and growth. It opens the door to deeper, more meaningful connections with people who uplift and inspire you, helping you lead a balanced and contented life. Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Are there individuals who consistently bring negativity or drain your energy? If so, it's time to set boundaries. Politely distance yourself from these relationships and focus on building connections with those who uplift and inspire you. Start small. Limit conversations with toxic individuals and replace those interactions with meaningful activities that bring you joy. Remember, prioritizing your emotional health is not selfish. It's necessary for living a balanced and fulfilling life. Begin today by taking one step toward a more positive and peaceful social environment. As children grow into adults, the role of a parent naturally evolves. What once required constant guidance and direct involvement now calls for a supportive but less intrusive approach. For seniors, adjusting to this shift can be challenging, especially when it feels instinctive to offer advice or step in during moments of conflict. However, learning to observe from a distance and offering guidance only when asked is crucial for fostering healthier, more respectful relationships with adult children. A common example of this challenge arises when it comes to parenting styles. Many seniors have strong opinions about how their grandchildren should be raised, often based on their own experiences. While well-meaning, unsolicited advice about discipline, education, or lifestyle choices can lead to tension. Adult children may interpret this as interference rather than support, creating unnecessary conflict. Similarly, financial decisions made by adult children might not align with a parent's expectations. The key to navigating this dynamic lies in acknowledging that adult children need space to make their own decisions, even if those decisions involve mistakes. For instance, a parent who steps back and allows their child to handle financial difficulties without intervening allows them to develop problem-solving skills and resilience. On the other hand, constant involvement or attempts to fix the situation can undermine their confidence and autonomy. This doesn't mean that parents should completely disengage from their children's lives. Rather, it's about striking a balance between being supportive and respecting their independence. A parent can remain a trusted advisor and confidant by being available to listen without judgment and only providing input when asked. This approach builds trust and ensures that the relationship remains strong and mutually respectful. Respecting boundaries is another critical element of maintaining a healthy parent-child relationship. Overstepping these boundaries by offering unsolicited opinions or becoming overly involved in personal matters can strain the relationship over time. Conversely, allowing your children to navigate their own challenges communicates trust in their abilities and fosters a deeper sense of mutual respect. Ultimately, transitioning into this new role as a parent is about letting go of the need to control and embracing a relationship rooted in trust, love, and encouragement. By doing so, you not only empower your children to grow and thrive, but also cultivate a sense of peace and fulfillment in your own life. This shift benefits both generations, creating a bond built on mutual respect and understanding. Real-life scenarios often illustrate the complexities of navigating relationships with adult children. Take the example of Susan, a 68-year-old mother of two. Susan frequently offered unsolicited advice on how her son and daughter-in-law were raising their children. While her intentions were rooted in love and concern, her comments about discipline and bedtime routines often led to tension during family gatherings. Over time, her son became distant, and Susan realized that her involvement in his life, though well-intentioned, had crossed the line into overbearing. Another example involves Mark, a retired father who took an active interest in his daughter's financial decisions. When his daughter and her husband decided to purchase a new home, Mark expressed his disapproval, questioning their choice of location and the size of the mortgage. His constant remarks, though well-meaning, created a sense of frustration for his daughter, who felt her independence was being undermined. Eventually, Mark recognized that his attempts to guide his daughter were causing more harm. These situations highlight the challenges of balancing care and respect. When parents overstep boundaries, even with good intentions, it can lead to misunderstandings and resentment. Susan's decision to step back and wait for her son to seek her advice marked a turning point in their relationship. Observing from a distance and offering guidance only when explicitly asked made her son more open and willing to share his parenting concerns. Similarly, Mark's experience taught him the importance of trust. By acknowledging his daughter's right to make her own decisions, he strengthened their bond. Instead of offering unsolicited advice, he provided support when asked, leading to more meaningful and respectful conversations. Another powerful example involves Ellen, a grandmother who frequently helped babysit her grandchildren. While she loved spending time with them, she often found herself caught in the middle of her daughter and son-in-law's disagreements over parenting styles. Ellen realized that intervening in their disputes was creating more tension, so she decided to focus on her role as a loving grandparent rather than a mediator. This shift improved her relationship with both her daughter and son-in-law as they began to feel less judged and more supported. These examples emphasize the importance of respecting boundaries and understanding your evolving role as a parent. By giving adult children the space to navigate their own challenges, you not only support their growth, but also create opportunities for deeper, more respectful relationships. The value of respecting boundaries with adult children lies in fostering mutual trust, respect, and emotional well-being for both generations. By stepping back and allowing your children to navigate their own lives, you provide them with the space they need to grow, make mistakes, and develop independence. This approach strengthens their confidence and decision-making abilities, creating a foundation for a healthier parent-child relationship. When you respect their autonomy, your children feel valued and understood, which opens the door to more meaningful and positive interactions. Instead of perceiving your advice as interference, they are more likely to seek your input when it's genuinely needed. This dynamic shifts the relationship from one of authority to one of mutual respect, fostering deeper emotional connections. Additionally, maintaining boundaries helps preserve your own emotional health. Constant involvement in your children's personal lives can lead to unnecessary stress, tension, and even resentment. By focusing on your role as a supportive observer rather than an active participant, you reduce potential conflicts and create a more harmonious family environment. Ultimately, respecting boundaries is an act of love. It communicates that you trust your children to navigate their own journey while remaining a steady and supportive presence in their lives. Take a step back and reflect on your relationship with your adult children. Are you providing the support they need, or are you unintentionally overstepping? Practice observing without interfering, and wait for them to ask for your advice. Trust their ability to navigate their challenges while offering guidance when invited. By respecting their independence, you strengthen your bond and create space for meaningful, respectful interactions. Start today by letting go of the need to control and embracing your role as a supportive, loving presence in their lives. Trust builds stronger connections and promotes lasting harmony. Protecting your personal and financial information is essential for maintaining privacy, safeguarding your well-being, and ensuring your peace of mind. As a senior, you may find that others often ask intrusive questions about your financial situation or personal life. While these inquiries might appear harmless on the surface, oversharing can lead to judgment, pity, or even attempts at exploitation. For example, casual questions about your monthly Social Security benefits or retirement savings can quickly turn into comparisons or even envy. Similarly, sharing details about your children's financial success might provoke jealousy, while discussing their struggles could invite unwelcome pity or unsolicited advice. To prevent this, practice offering polite but nonspecific responses. Saying something like, "I manage fine," or "I'm comfortable," allows you to maintain your privacy without offending the other person. It's equally important to be cautious about discussing healthcare costs or medical treatments in casual conversations. While neighbors or acquaintances might seem genuinely interested, oversharing could lead to gossip or unnecessary opinions. A simple response such as, "I've got things under control," can help redirect the conversation while preserving your dignity. Family dynamics also benefit from discretion. Imagine someone asking, "How do you feel about your son-in-law's new job?" Or, "What do you think of your daughter's parenting style?" Answering these questions directly, especially if the answer is critical, could fuel unnecessary drama. Instead, opting for neutral and supportive responses, such as, "I trust their judgment," or "They're doing their best," helps maintain harmony while avoiding conflict. Setting boundaries about personal information isn't about shutting others out. It's about being selective and intentional with what you share and with whom. By building trust with a small, close circle of friends or family, you create an environment where your private matters remain confidential. This fosters deeper connections while ensuring your emotional and financial well-being are protected. Ultimately, safeguarding your personal information gives you control over your life and relationships. It allows you to engage with others in ways that are meaningful and positive without compromising your privacy. Remember, you are not obligated to explain every detail of your life. By practicing discretion and maintaining boundaries, you take a significant step toward living a balanced, respectful, and fulfilling life. Examples from real-life experiences highlight the importance of protecting personal and financial information. Consider the case of Linda, a 72-year-old retired teacher. During a casual conversation with her neighbor, Linda mentioned the amount of her monthly Social Security check. She thought nothing of it at the time, but her neighbor began frequently asking her for small loans, citing financial difficulties. Linda felt uncomfortable and didn't know how to decline without seeming rude. Another example involves Tom, a 68-year-old widower who often shared details about his investments with a group of friends at his weekly coffee meetups. One of his friends, intrigued by Tom's savings, introduced him to a financial advisor, offering high returns. Trusting his friend's recommendation, Tom invested a significant amount, only to discover later that it was a fraudulent scheme. The loss could have been avoided had Tom maintained more discretion about his financial affairs. Oversharing isn't limited to finances. Sarah, a grandmother, found herself discussing family matters with a fellow church member. In an attempt to share her struggles, she mentioned her daughter's recent marital issues. Unbeknownst to Sarah, the information spread quickly within the community, causing embarrassment and straining her relationship with her daughter. This experience taught Sarah the importance of discretion, even when seeking emotional support. Another compelling story comes from James, who frequently talked about his medical expenses with friends. One day, a neighbor approached him with a miracle health supplement that promised to reduce his medical costs. Feeling pressured, James purchased the product, which turned out to be ineffective and overpriced. Reflecting on the experience, James realized that being selective about what he shares could prevent such situations in the future. These examples underscore the potential consequences of oversharing personal information. Whether it's financial details, family matters, or health issues, sharing too much can lead to unintended outcomes, including exploitation, gossip, and damaged relationships. Learning from these situations, Linda now avoids discussing her finances altogether, offering vague but polite responses when asked. Tom has become more cautious about discussing investments, choosing instead to seek advice from certified financial professionals. Sarah has adopted a more reserved approach when sharing personal struggles, opting to confide only in close, trusted friends. Meanwhile, James has set clear boundaries around conversations about his health, steering discussions toward more neutering. Ultimately, these stories serve as reminders of the value of discretion. By setting boundaries around personal and financial information, you can safeguard your well-being, protect your relationships, and maintain control over your narrative. The value of maintaining discretion and protecting personal information goes beyond avoiding exploitation or judgment. It fosters a sense of control and empowerment. When you set boundaries around what you share, you take charge of your narrative, ensuring that your life details are handled with respect and care. This not only safeguards your emotional well-being, but also creates a more peaceful and harmonious environment in your relationships. By practicing discretion, you reduce the risk of misunderstandings or conflicts that often arise from oversharing. For example, avoiding discussions about sensitive topics like finances or family issues prevents unnecessary drama or gossip. This approach helps maintain trust and respect in your interactions, whether with close friends, family members, or casual acquaintances. Additionally, being selective with what you share allows you to focus on deeper, more meaningful connections. Instead of engaging in surface-level conversations about personal matters, you can redirect your energy toward positive interactions that uplift and inspire you. This shift leads to a more fulfilling social life, centered on mutual respect and support. Ultimately, protecting your personal information is an act of self-care and self-respect. It empowers you to live authentically while preserving your peace of mind and the integrity of your relationships. Take control of your personal and financial information by setting clear boundaries. Reflect on how much you're sharing in conversations and consider whether it's truly necessary. Practice polite but vague responses when asked intrusive questions, such as, "I manage just fine," or "That's personal." Protecting your privacy isn't about being distant. It's about safeguarding your peace of mind and maintaining control over your narrative. Start today by deciding which details are worth sharing and with whom. By doing so, you'll foster more respectful relationships and create an environment where your well-being takes priority. The concept of gentle coldness isn't about being distant or unkind. It's about protecting your peace while staying true to yourself. This approach teaches us to prioritize our well-being by setting boundaries that allow us to live with intention and clarity. The key moment in this realization is understanding that you don't have to share every detail of your life, nor do you need to please everyone around you. Instead, focus on creating a life that aligns with your values and brings you genuine fulfillment. Imagine the freedom that comes with respectfully declining intrusive questions, stepping away from toxic relationships, or choosing activities that nourish your spirit rather than deplete it. By embracing this mindset, you're not only safeguarding your emotional health, but also creating space for deeper connections and meaningful interactions. This moment of clarity serves as a turning point. It's a decision to shift away from external pressures and toward a more centered, balanced life. When you protect your boundaries, you're making a statement about your self-worth and showing others how to treat you. This isn't about selfishness, it's about self-respect. Remember, you're at your best for others when you first cared for yourself. As you navigate the later stages of life, remember that setting boundaries and protecting your peace is not just a practical choice. It's a gift you give yourself. These years are an opportunity to focus on what truly matters: meaningful relationships, personal growth, and inner tranquility. By embracing the concept of gentle coldness, you create a life that reflects your values and allows you to thrive. Setting limits doesn't mean distancing yourself from others or being unkind. Instead, it's about creating a space where you can prioritize your emotional well-being while still being present for those who matter most. Respecting your boundaries not only fosters the sense of self-respect, but also sets an example for others to treat you with the same care and consideration. Ultimately, this journey is about finding balance. It's about saying yes to the things that enrich your life and no to the demands or interactions that drain you. When you honor your needs, you empower yourself to live authentically and fully. Remember, you have earned the right to focus on your happiness and well-being. Cherish this time, embrace your worth, and create a life filled with joy, purpose, and peace. If you found these insights helpful, take a moment to reflect on how you can apply them in your daily life. Start setting boundaries, prioritizing your peace, and choosing what truly enriches your journey. Share this message with friends or family who might benefit, and let's build a supportive community together. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to grow and thrive. Your well-being is worth it.